Hi there. Hopefully this recording doesn't have any music. Sometimes I've done that in the past. I've that in the background. If you hear something, that's something going off. I think that's someone else's phone. But you know, I'm just going to try and do this video. And I might try and switch that off actually, whatever it is, before I start. Right, hopefully it won't do it again. Won't disturb this talk. But anyway, yeah, I want to do this talk because I was saying to my dad and my mum yesterday, I was talking to them about how many different things I was, flowing through different things about my awakening, why my perception changed, and also that, I say this a lot in my videos and I'll keep on saying it, and it's true that I say this all the time, it showed me so many things. But what it did was it changed my perception from little Sean, limited Sean, to infinite Sean. And you see, this picture is really, symbolic of what is always going on. The society is programmed by the system to get its hand and squeeze your brain so that you think and you perceive reality in the way that society is organized. You see, the system is actually society. We are the system. That's for a different video. But that's what's going on. And as soon as we're born, like the John Lennon line, as soon as you're born, they make you feel small. And that's what's going on there. As soon as you're born, everything around you is downloading onto you what reality is. So by the time you're an adult, you're absolutely controlled and programmed, and you don't even know who you are. You think who you are is who you've been told that you are. And like I was saying to my dad yesterday, I was saying that no one ever is an alcoholic or a druggie, or no one is sick, because no one would think any of these things if they weren't told these things. You see? That's the thing. We get told that we are ill, that we are this, that we are that. And therefore, that becomes our reality. It's spoken about in hypnotherapy. It's spoken about in hypnosis circles and psychology circles about the power of suggestion. Everything is suggestion. The Bible is an example of that. The Bible suggests something to you, and then the masses go and make it happen. Then it actually says this would happen. No, you made that happen. I was someone that was brought up in the paranormal field, with my mother being a psychic and medium and transfiguration medium, I think astrologer, palmist. And so I'm not someone that was brought up in a psychological field, even though my dad was a hypnotherapist. I was brought up in the paranormal field, so it probably sounds like I'm very skeptical. I probably am by nature now, because I realise that most things can be explained. That's the thing. I've realised that most things that are paranormal, that seem paranormal or seem out there, can actually be explained. And the reason this is the skeptical way I've got is a very good way, is because then if it really is paranormal, then you'll really find out if it is by being skeptical first. But going back to the mind thing, this is what's happening to us. We get controlled and we get told what we are, right? And then that becomes our reality. And in this spiritual awakening that I had an unexpected spiritual awakening way back in the age of 24, early part of the age of 24. And in this awakening, I realized that everything was an illusion, that everything that I thought was an illusion, everything was programmed onto me. Because in that awakening, you become aware. You become aware of what's happening to you, where before you weren't aware. And like my dad says to me yesterday also that he didn't think awareness was that great a thing, but that's because one hasn't experienced that awakening. Once you experience that awakening, you realize awareness is everything. A lack of awareness gives you serious problems in your life going forward. Um, you could be, you could have a wife, not know she's cheating, not know she's unhappy in the marriage. Um, Lack of awareness, right? But if you're aware, then you can sort problems out. And when you that's the thing, that's the power of awareness. And asleep really means someone that's not aware yet. Most people just are reactive, but they're not proactive, and that's because proactiveness comes from your awareness. You know, your awareness is this tool that is within everyone. It's like a clarity thing, and it's always there. But asleep people are programmed to deny this power. You see, this awareness thing, and in that awakening, you become you. It's like you've been an artificial intelligence robot your entire life, and now you've become self-aware, where before this wasn't the case. And then because you're self-aware, you're aware of the downloading that's programmed onto you, and so you're able to deprogram yourself and reprogram yourself and create a new type of being, and to create a mechanical co-creator sovereign being on this planet. And it's almost like you're reinventing yourself. You are doing that. And this is the power of awareness, and that's what I was explaining to my dad and my mum yesterday. And that we can do anything that we want. This is why some people can develop powers that they can move objects with their minds or whatever. They can do all different things, and what abilities we have in our life comes from the awareness, the authentic side that we all have within us in that spiritual awakening. Or when you're going through spiritual development, it's that authentic side that decides what you're going to do in your life. Now, in my life, my soul journey is all about showing people how to access their authentic side, right? And the real power above all things isn't someone that can move an object with their mind, because remember, all things are illusions. Everything is just illusion from energy. The only power that means anything to anyone, and the only thing of any substance, is the infinite love that governs everything. And that is my sole purpose on this reality. And that's my soul journey, and that's what I'm trying to bring forward. That's what the awakening has been about. Show me. It's about showing me that everything's an illusion, that the only thing of any substance is what you feel within you, is your authentic side within. What is that saying? The love that you feel within you. Like in the film Ghost, when Patrick Swayze says, the love, you take it with you. And that is the only truth to everything. Also in this awakening, I let go of fears. You know, fear is a big illusion. And how we get rid of fear is my authentic side was like an inner voice. And that started to tell me, let me be aware that what's the worst that can happen? And then, because in the spiritual awakening, you're becoming in tune with the death, almost like the death realm. And you're realizing that there's nothing to fear. Death is the worst thing that can happen to you. And now I don't fear that. And once you don't fear death anymore, you don't fear anything. You don't have any fears. Right? And you realize the only thing that you must do in this planet is be authentic and to be true to what you believe in. And because you're living the path of God now when you have that awakening, and you know that that's your purpose. This is like you got people like Alex Jones. He had a gun to his head, and it didn't work. because he was obviously a guy that was awakening, and that, you can't intimidate people like that, because they know they're in tune with God now, and they won't be intimidated, because intimidation is an illusion. When you're intimidated, it's an illusion. The reason we get intimidated is because we're afraid of what might happen. But the worst that can happen to us is death. And then once you don't fear that anymore, you have no fear. But and that's the thing, and this is what happened to me. And that's how I escaped this like mind control that I was talking about. And this is what's always going on. We are not what we are told we are. We are not that. That's what we've got to. What a person has to do is to step back and say, wait a minute, everything that I think I am, I've been told that I am. Remember, society and people in general are programmed, and then what they do is they try to impose onto other people a set of beliefs that has been downloaded onto them. And you notice people doing this all the time. And when you start to become back to your sovereignness, that you are, the true sovereign creator being that you are, you won't stand for it anymore. And you start to be aware of when people are actually doing this. And that's it, and that's what normal people do. The new normal, they're calling it now. They will try to impose their set of beliefs, right? And when you're opposite that, then it's like strange to them. And this is where we must open ourselves up. We must expand our awareness, because we need, we talk about freedom of speech, but we're getting censored on the internet. So we need to stand up and speak our truths for the people that have died for our freedom, and speak our truths and understand that remember, your opinion is one opinion within nearly 8 billion people on this planet. So you've got to understand that we all know nothing. We all don't know a thing on this planet, or any planet. Everything's infinity, vastness, and that we know nothing. Right? That one perspective is one perspective within infinity. At least on this planet, nearly 8 billion. Right? And so when you realize this tight grip that the society and system has in your brain will start letting go. Because you'll realize, wait a minute, life isn't so narrow as I thought it was. It's actually open possibilities, that this is just one possibility of reality on this planet. But there are infinite ways. Actually, when you really go into that, there's infinite ways to do things, infinite ways to look at things. That everyone is just infinity. And everything is the same infinity. And that nobody is. Remember, when people think that they're druggies or alcoholics or anything, they are told they're that. And then what they do is, because they see a so-called professional saying that to them, they buy into it, when they don't realize that professional's been programmed as well. They've been programmed into this as well. And it's a long line of programming. So understand this. Understand that we are whatever we decide we are. And the way the programming works is they suggest that you're something, and then you believe it, and then you become it. It's a form of hypnosis, in a way. It's mind control. And so in awakening, you can awaken right now simply by stepping out of that and start being aware of this program that's going on. And simply, once you become aware of it, you won't buy into it anymore. And then this hand that is tight on your brain will release. And then you will start to awaken spiritually and expand your awareness. And realize that you are anything that you want. And you'll realize that it's your authentic side that decides your experience. And then once you become in tune with that authentic side, that is the alignment with your spiritual, sovereign creator self, which is God. And you realize that you are anything that you want, and that you're doing whatever you want at this moment. At this moment, you're going through the growth that you're meant to go through at this moment. And I'm just going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching and listening.